Team camp went well.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Yeah, it went well. We had some good kids.
How many teams y'all
Good
have?
teams. Teams, we had around 30 teams.
Y'all got 30. Wow.
Yeah, 30 teams. So it was good. It was really good. It was long days, but it was good. Then we had
Were they local teams? What was the furthest team y'all had or team?
We had a team from North Carolina. We had a team from we had the White House, which is near Nashville.
Yeah.
So no teams from Memphis, but
Gotcha.
we had a team from Georgia.
Okay.
Or a couple teams from Georgia. So we had some teams a little spread out, but yeah, a lot of local teams as well. What have you been up to?
Oh, nothing. We're all systems go. We got it rolling. Shooting groups every day, practice, weights.
Tell me a little bit. What does your shooting groups look like? Like, obviously you don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh yeah. We are. So what we're doing is we're splitting our weights and shoot our weights into two groups. And so first group will go lift while that second group will do their shooting. Then they'll just switch it after when the first group is done. So then that second group will go to weights, and then that second group will come shoot. So depending on the day, we either do it in the morning or around lunchtime, and then we're practicing about 3 every day.
Okay. What is so like you said shooting groups? What does that look like? So is that a part of practice, or is that like separated from practice? So like
that's a separate work,out. So
okay, so you're just condensing the time of each.
Yeah.
In order to fit it in. Gotcha.
Yeah. But it's, a lot of group competition stuff. So there's only about 6 in each shooting group. So split them up into 3, have them compete against each other, total makes at each spot, whatever it may be. But just trying to get the competition going really.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's fun, man. We got, like I keep saying, we got some good dudes. Guys are in the gym. They want to be in the gym. They want to work. They're ready to go.
That's refreshing.
Oh, it is. It's very refreshing. And, part of it may be the excitement of just being back on campus, being around everybody, and everybody's adrenaline's pumping. And, but it's, guys they're working, man. They really are. They're working and they want to be in there.
But, episode 40, right?
40. Lordy. We made it to 40.
Holy moly. Well, welcome into the Mind of a Coach podcast. This is episode 40. What did you say again, Asa? You said
Lordy, we made it to 40. You ever see those signs like out in people's like front yards, like for somebody's 40th birthday, like Lordy, so-and-so turning 40.
No, I did not see that. But speaking of somebody turning 40, since we are recording on Tuesday night, happy birthday to Mr. Coach Russ Wilson. So
yeah,
shout out Russ. Wow, 40.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Coach Russ. Coach Russ is awesome. Had him on the show. Go back, check it out if you get a chance. Happy birthday, dog.
Asa, give me a basketball player that is 40.
I know. I've been racking my brain.
Sean Kemp.
We'll go Sean. Perfect. Sean Kemp.
Honestly, I have no other. Like that one just came up. I have no recollection of any. Was James Posey? No, he was 41, wasn't he?
I think Posey was 41. Harrison Barnes, he's 40.
Harrison Barnes, that's a good one.
Harrison Barnes.
I'm trying too hard on this. Well, Welcome into the Mind of a Coach podcast again, episode 40. Everything else that goes along with that: Harrison Barnes, Sean Kemp, whatever episode you want. Asa, obviously, we have already talked to each other about how you're doing, but there's obviously got to be something that you have to get off your chest this week.
Yeah. Save the menus. Every restaurant I go to now, they don't have actual paper menus anymore. I can't see it. You got to pull out your phone and scan the stupid little barcode and pull it up on the internet on your phone. And it's just, I don't want a little 3-inch menu. Okay. I want a paper menu. I want a paper menu where I can either fold it, flip it over. Yeah, I can see some pictures. I can read the fine print of what's in. I don't need a little menu on the internet. Save the menus, dude. Save the menus.
I completely agree. I hate looking at menus on my phone. Listen, it's great for the environment. I respect what they're trying to do, but here, I'm going to even go even further. I'll take the menus on the phone. Stop giving me paper straws. I can't do another paper straw.
Oh, the paper straws are awful.
Just do the metal straws. They're fine. They're great. Give me a metal straw, wash them, do what you got to do. But paper straws are the absolute worst.
Yeah, paper.
It's like it's texture and everything. If you know what, if you're listening to this podcast and you like a paper straw, Asa and I'll no, we won't actually give you anything. There's no way I'm giving you something if you like paper straws.
No yeah, dude. I hate paper straws. Paper straws are the worst.
Yeah. They fold in your mouth. But yes, I agree with you. Menus, save
the menus, man. Save the menus. Save the menus.
At first, I thought you were talking about like, I don't know, like saving the menus. I was like, are they throwing them away or like save it like a file? But yeah, I agree with you. Save the menus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got today, though. I'm glad. Yeah. Thank you for telling me about your hatred towards paper straws as well. I'm glad we agree with that one.
Restaurant business, maybe we'll get into it one day.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not anytime soon, but maybe one day. Probably hot chicken. That's probably what we would do.
Hot chicken?
We'd go under so fast.
Yeah, I can't make hot chicken. Burgers I can do. I can do burgers.
You can make some good burgers.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I can do some burgers. I can do a good buffalo chicken dip. I can really do some good shrimp and chicken in iron skillet.
Got a big old iron skillet.
Yeah, iron skillet, dude. Love the iron skillet.
Man. All right, hey, we're getting way off track here.
We are.
We have to do something before we introduce our guest. We talked about the playoffs. It might have been a podcast or two ago. I think we have kept talking about it. What are your predictions as of right now? There's some interesting stuff going on with the Nets right now.
Our first predictions were awful.
Were they?
I mean, they weren't. Well, depending on how this Brooklyn series plays out.
Yeah. But mine on the other side still alive.
It is.
Even though I went like.
So I said Brooklyn. I said Brooklyn and Lakers, right? All right. I'm gonna go. Brooklyn and the Suns. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. The Suns.
I'm glad you hopped on. I'm staying Suns.
Yeah, stay with it. I would don't need to veer off path yet.
And I'm telling you right now, if the Nets do not bring back James Harden, I understand Kyrie's important too, but if they don't bring back James Harden, Bucks and 7, or maybe even 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think tonight, if James Harden and Kyrie aren't playing, I think KD can have a miraculous game. I just don't think they have enough. I mean, Chris Middleton and Giannis, I think guarding Giannis is going to take way too much out of KD to be able to put up a 50-pointer. I mean, obviously they can go big on him and hope that Giannis shoots a bunch and maybe put DeAndre Jordan on him. But no, I don't see the Bucks losing this game. Although it's on the road, I don't see it happening.
James is going to try to play, isn't he? Did you say that? He's going to try to play?
Is he? So I read earlier. I read this morning, so I haven't kept up since this morning, but that it said that Kyrie, or it said Irving and Harden are out.
Okay.
But I mean, if it's changed, then
I read a little bit ago where he was going to try to warm up or something. You know, he said he was planning on playing, barring some setback.
Well, Harden 50%, the Nets win. Harden doesn't play. I'm going Bucks.
Yeah.
So, but once again, I mean, barring like any major injuries. Wow, injuries by that was terrible. Barring any major injuries by any more of the Bucks players, or having at least 2 superstars healthy for the Nets, it doesn't matter about that Sixers Hawks series. Like, Bucks or Nets are coming out just because Joel Embiid's got.
If the Bucks win, you don't think the Sixers can beat the Bucks?
No, because I think Joel Embiid is hurt.
I disagree. I think the Sixers can beat the Bucks.
They can beat them. I don't think they're going to beat them 7 games, and that's a lot of load. Like I said, on Joel Embiid's hurt knee. I think that's the biggest problem. Joel Embiid healthy, like or like the first game of the playoffs, before he got hurt. Yes, absolutely. I think Joel Embiid and the Sixers win. They're a great team, and how silly is it that what's her name fired Doc Rivers? I mean,
the clip, that is crazy.
But did you see that Kawhi dunk last night?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Well, I just love being down 0-2, I guess, and just turning on the Jets.
True. That's a good. Yeah. That dunk was crazy.
Nice.
I like Kawhi, by the way. And when he said best player, I don't hate on Kawhi. I don't like that he's with the Clippers, but I do like Kawhi. I'm not a Kawhi hater at all.
I don't even think it was really Kawhi came first, right? And then they traded Paul George. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
So there's
correct.
no reason to really dislike Kawhi. He left a national. He left a championship team.
Yeah.
To go to, a building team.
Right.
But not a championship team.
Yeah.
Now, although I would still argue that if LeBron is healthy and KD is healthy, or even Clay, Kawhi might not have a.
Yeah. It'd be a little different.
But anyway, all right, we're getting a little off topic. Do you got anything else?
No, it's only that it is so the date is 6/15, June 15th, 615 day. Shout out to Nashville. We got a great guest on us who's a Nashville native, so I'm just pointing out that it's perfect that we're recording with this guest on 615 day. Shout out to Nashville again. Thank y'all for tuning in, and hope y'all enjoy our conversation with Coach Spencer Richardson.
Since I started this Twitter almost challenge, or just trying to be consistent on social media, gained 30 followers and just gotten a lot of people engaged in my tweets, and they're talking back and just learning from them as well. So that's really cool.
30 followers, dude. Get your clout up.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do, bro.
My man.
Trying to be famous. Just trying to be famous like Spencer over here.
Oh, man, I wish.
What's going on?
Good old flight league.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
How many nights a week are you busy with that?
So flight league goes Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights during the summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many teams in that league?
Summertime, he probably got about a couple hundred teams.
Okay. Dang.
Wintertime is when, it's a ton of winter teams.
Yeah. How you doing, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, man. Pro guys getting back in town.
Yeah.
We crank up next month. With the girl back out on the road. So, it's those two things keep me busy.
Yeah. I want to talk about that later too, but if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. We got Coach Spencer Richardson on the show with us. Spencer is a Nashville native, played high school basketball at Maplewood High School, went on to play college at Shawnee College, founded All Around Game at, what was that, about 2009, 10-ish?
Yeah, it was 08.
08? Okay. Mm-hmm. Founded All Around Game. Been training basketball, been training pros such as Brandon Wright, Rob Covington. Went out west one time, trained Draymond Green. Coaches multiple AAU team. He's a man of many talents. Got a lot on his plate. Coach Spencer, we appreciate you coming on, man. What's new with you?
Man, first of all, man, I'm glad you guys got me on. Obviously, I watched a ton of these interviews, and you guys do a great job, man. But yeah, summer grind. We got the team Brandon Wright. The girls, they're getting ready for next month. Like I said, the pros, a lot of those guys are starting to get back in. Got the run and gun camp coming up next week.
Yeah. We were talking about that today in the office. We were talking about how it was coming up, man. That's the hey, I tell everybody, best camp you can go to.
Yes, sir. Hands down.
Talk to us about that camp. So how it started, how you got involved with it, kind of where it started at to where it is now.
Man, Coach Brian Penny Collins, man, 14 years ago, he had a vision, man. Watkins Community Center, right across from MLK. Man, a little hot box,
man.
He reached out to me, and basically, man, in those 4 days, I just kind of took what Coach Penny did in those 4 days, man, and made it a year-round thing.
So yeah, I do. Those camps, I was at the first one. I probably went to 5 or 6 of them after that. It was it was fun, man. The Watkins Park, the mystery meat lunch boxes that we had every day.
What?
Man, Nate,
tell me about that.
It was at Watkins Park over off Charlotte, right across from MLK, and I guess Penny, whatever, the community center, they had hooked us up with some lunches, man. You didn't know it was mystery meat, Nate. It was mystery meat. We had no idea what was in that box.
the campers, our first annual campers, they get all my respect, man. Because like I said, we was it was a high box, small court. I mean, no AC, and we basically the campers got to eat what the kids that was coming to the community center every day got to eat. I mean, look, I grew up in that kind of environment too, man. So it wasn't new to me, but you know, some kids nowadays, man, they wouldn't know a lot of those kids couldn't make it through that first annual. That was it, right? That was the real.
That was, man. That was it. That was the epitome of the run and gun basketball camp. So from that camp, that was the origins of all around game. Talk to us about how that came to fruition and kind of what your goal is with that and how that's been going.
Man, so after run and gun, I fell in love with coaching, and I mean, I tell people all the time, literally all around game started. I was working a part-time job at Sports Season. Lady come in, asked me, "Hey, you look like you play basketball." I told her, "Yeah, I did." And she said, "Well, can you coach?" And I said, "I haven't, but I will." And WNSL league, I walk. She take my number, call me. I walk in the gym, and right away I knew that the kids were not very good at all. So I walked back out, kind of took a deep breath, went in, and I was like, "All right, we're gonna start with it's just simple fundamentals." And about the second or third game, the same lady who asked me to coach, she was like, "Can you train my son privately?" And she was like, "How much would you charge me?" And I was like, $25. Well, anyway, he started getting better and other people started noticing. And before you know it, man, I mean, my phone was ringing off the hook. And I was sitting down one day watching an NBA game, and I heard the announcer say, I forget what player it was, but he referred to that player as having an all-around game. Mm-hmm. Boom, that hit me right there. Yeah.
That's cool, man. You got it, Nate.
No, okay. So, I mean, this is pretty simple. It's going off of what Asa just asked. But if you had a mission statement for all-around game, what would it be?
All or nothing. I think that's what we came up with after we had came up with all-around game. And it's just when you step on we're really not even on the court, man, but even in life, like whatever you put your mind to, like give it everything you have, like every ounce of you. If not, like don't do it at all.
That's perfect. And I think a lot of people can take that, whether you play basketball or don't play basketball. If you're just stumbling upon this podcast, get everything you have.
Yes, sir.
So talking about training specifically here, how has your approach to training evolved from when you started?
That's good.
You start off by, I used to love watching the Kobe Bryant YouTube, his YouTube channel, or like some of the clips he did. I forget what they called him. I know Nike, he had a Nike series that he would do.
Oh, yeah.
And,
the detail thing, right? Or is it not detail?
No, it's
later. This is just like a Nike series that Nike was doing for Kobe. And I just typed his name in one time, and because I really wasn't a big Kobe fan up until I started watching just how detailed and fundamental he was. So when he and on that, the first one I watched, he was showing footwork and how to finish low, middle, and high off the glass. Well, nobody's ever. I just thought when you go shoot a layup, you just off the backboard, but he literally had 3 different spots on the backboard depending on who was contesting his shots. And so I would take a little bit what I was learning from those Kobe Nike series, and I would apply it. And then, I mean, just watching. I mean, if you watch it, I tell people all the time, if you watch a college game or NBA game, like there's so much you can learn about basketball just watching the NBA basketball game. And a lot of the things that those guys do, a kid who works on their game all the time can go out and do. Now, obviously, you got some things that, LeBron James and KD and Kyrie, those guys do, but a lot of it you can do if you work on it.
So some of the guys like Brandon Wright, Rob Covington, I mean, I had the opportunity to train with you and Brandon a lot. And one of the things I noticed about Brandon is how professional he was in everything that he did. When you get to that level, what are some of the things you have to do in order to sustain your playing career, extend your, because you're at that point, your body is your business, your body is your livelihood. What are some of the things that a guy like Brandon did to even further himself and stay, just stay ready to go.
Man, Brandon is he's the ultimate pro in the offseason. I know he hasn't played these last few seasons, but he's actually back, fully recovered and ready to work out for some teams later on this year. But back when he was playing, I mean, you talking about a guy that, basically got up every morning around, 6 o'clock, get up, get his body going. Scott Real, he started investing in his body to get bigger. So Scott Real is his strength trainer even to this day. So we would go do weights with Scott, kettlebells, and then we would go on the track to do our sprints, football field, and then we would take an hour break, and then we would meet right back up there at Brentwood Academy, and we would get on the court. And then outside of the conditioning in a basketball court, Brandon, he as far as his diet, man, the dude is
everything that went into his body. He knew exactly what was going in and how much was going in.
Like dog food, right?
Yeah. I don't. Hey, that's what it boils down to, man. You gotta eat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, come on. Okay. Oh my God! That's why I had to stop. I was like, "Did you say dog food?"
Asa told me the story once.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that?
Oh, look here, man. I think we can talk about some of the other challenges. Yeah. Oh my!
That was good, Nate. That was good.
Classic. That was classic. Oh, man.
But hey, so we were talking about Brandon Wright. Obviously, you've trained Rob Covington as well. You train Jordan Bone. You've trained some other guys, Garrison Matthews. So you have a list of and I named 4 very different players in the NBA. So what I want to ask you is, what goes into your creative process when training these specific but different players?
That's great question, man. I kind of, and then obviously, Jamal. Jamal helps me with those guys. So I like for Jamal when it comes to the creativity of basketball. My cousin Jamal has always had a nice handle with the basketball. So, for example, I mean, one time we both were working out Darius and doing some of the same things.
I didn't even say Darius.
Yeah, we totally forgot Darius. Goodness gracious.
So I bring up Darius because we was working out Darius kind of equally, but then one day I came in and Jamal had Darius going through a pick and roll series, and then he had him, his one-on-one breakdown stuff, and I was like, I'm never working with Darius on this type of stuff again, because Jamal is he's just a master at that. So when I would work with Darius, it would be more, okay, when you're off the ball, movement, the shot, pull-ups and that kind of stuff. Garrison Matthews, I mean, obviously I played the 2 guard, so I know how it feels to be a 2, how to look for your shot when people run you off the line, straight line drives and that kind of thing. Obviously the bigs is just, when I watch Brandon and a guy like Damian Jones, these are high flyers. I mean, these are guys who set a screen and go get it. Just throw it up either way, however you want to, and they're going to go get it. But at the same time, I mean, Asa, you worked out with Brandon a lot. A lot of people don't understand Brandon can handle the ball like a guard. So it was not necessarily trying to get them too far out of their comfort zone. But in today's game, I mean, obviously bigs, they can shoot the 3, they can put it on the floor, they can, you can put them in ISO situations. So just trying to get them a little bit of what the game, has evolved to today.
I think that's awesome. And especially for all around game to for you guys to be able to notice that Jamal can do these specific things within a ball screen, that you were more off ball. I think that's so much more valuable too for Darius to be able to come to 2 separate guys. And it's not just okay, well, I got to go to this one guy, but you guys are in it together and you have each other's backs. I think that's super unique in this business.
Yeah. I think, if when you, as a coach and as a trainer, man, if you sit up here and feel like you telling yourself that you're the end all be all, well, you're limiting Yeah, I'm like, for example, I just got back from a camp in Memphis. My guy John McGraw, he had a junior All-American girls camp. He had 110 high school girls on Saturday, and he had 130 middle school girls on Sunday. And I worked with a guy named Tony from out of Missouri, and I can't tell you like how much I learned working alongside Tony. Like, I couldn't wait to get back home and start training on Monday, and I've been doing a lot of what I learned from Tony over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I talked to Tony this morning, and he was like, man, I've already been showing my college guys the 10 count. They love it. Yeah. So, man, I love going to camps and clinics and watching what other trainers and what other coaches do. A lot of my sets I run in the summertime with my girls, it's stuff that I see on TV when I'm watching these playoffs or when I'm watching a college basketball game. Man, I learned a lot just by watching on TV.
Nate, that was a great question. That blew me away.
Hey, thank you, Ace. I'm glad I can still impress you after all this time.
Spence, how many times?
It's like a marriage over here, Spencer.
It is. It is. Spence, how many times have you been out grind week with Draymond?
So grind week, we did it. We was able to do that for 2 summers. My guy Draymond Green's trainer Travis Walton. Travis was actually down here over the weekend. I missed him because I was in Memphis, but he just stopped in Nashville. He was headed over to Atlanta to do some pre-draft work. But those guys did a great job with that, man. Draymond, I mean, just the ultimate pro. We went 5 days on the court early in the morning, weights, training, and then they played pickup. You would come back, and the second half of the day would be all shooting, like an hour and a half, just all catch and shooting. And then we had dinner, and then we would have like a little outing at night, man. I mean, Draymond I know a lot of people kind of get the wrong impression when he's playing basketball, but off the court, man, Draymond Green is a first class stack. You talking about a guy, the first time we went out there, as soon as we got off the plane, I mean, he had a driver there for us, and he was like, y'all come to my house. Like, just think about, here's a guy, NBA champion, big time guy in the league, and he don't know me and my cousin from Adam. And he's like, yeah, come to my house. He just laid it out for us, man.
What how many hours in the day were y'all on the court in the weight room? I mean, doing basketball skill related stuff. How many hours in the day were y'all actually on the court?
That's great.
We probably did about 5.5, probably 6 hours together. Like I said, first the guys had to be on the court like right at 8 a.m. They had a guy to come in and do dynamic warm up stretches, get them loose. And then after they got loose, they got a sweat going. We went right into like a 10-minute ball handling series, full court. And then it was just we had 2 groups. We had two sides of courts. So you spent 30 minutes on one side, 30 minutes on the other side, and we switched. And then they did a full game. Referees came in, split the teams up, and they played a full game. And then right after the game, he had a spread where they would eat, go back, relax, shower up, and then come back around 5. And they did and they shot from like 5 to 6:30.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, it was a full day. And then, obviously we had like a little outing. Let's say we went bowling or, we hung out. Well, didn't matter what time we got in. The next morning, guys was at the gym, ready to work on time.
Mm-hmm. What other than his God-given ability, what is something about Draymond that kind of stands out that you're like, all right, it makes sense that he is where he's at?
Man, great question. So on the last day of the camp, I never forget. And he actually came kind of saved me a little bit because you get around pros, you talking about these are the best players in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a couple of the guys setting ball screens, but they weren't obviously they wasn't bigs. They was like a 2 guard or some of them were point guards. So they were kind of looking at me like, why is this dude got me setting the ball screen?
Mm-hmm.
And Draymond Green kind of sensed and he just stopped. He was like, look, guys, y'all know how many screens Steph Curry set for me? And all the guys and after he said that, everybody was like, all right, let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Facts.
If you think about it, he was like, Steph Curry done set a ton of screens for me when I got the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And when he reminded guys of that, everybody was like, okay, well, yeah, I can say if Steph Curry can set a screen, I can set a ball screen too.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
That is. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Spencer, this is shifting a little bit off. Do you have another question about Draymond? Because I'm about to shift back to training, just all around game. How do you? This is something that I think a lot of people can struggle with. But how do you stay as motivated when working with youths compared to NBA caliber players?
That's another good one. You guys are asking great questions, man. So, man, you really, really have to enjoy if you're working out Rob Covington or if you're working out, somebody it's their first time touching the basketball. And I just get a joy out of, like, for example, to me, we've had girls that come into our program that they was not good basketball players when we first got them.
Mm-hmm.
And we've taken girls that was just, let's just say on a scale of 10, they were a 4. And the ones that came into the gym, they came to practice, but they showed up whenever we had our extra workout sessions and they put in work. Well, to see those girls get Division I offers and go on to play college basketball, like, to me, look, I love working out pro guys, but at the end of the day, a pro, for the most part, anybody can make a pro look good. Look, it's hard to mess up a workout when you're working with a pro. Yeah. You just got, but to me, I get a thrill out of taking kids that are just average basketball players, and then a year or two later, everybody's like, man, who is that kid? Who is that girl? Who is that boy?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But they don't know. Like, I want to shout both of y'all out. Like, both of y'all were elite basketball players coming up. I know, Nate, I know both of y'all had injuries and it kind of slowed y'all career. But when both of y'all were healthy, 100%, both of y'all were hard to deal with. Both of you,
I appreciate that. Yep.
And I know how hard y'all work. I mean, I know, Nate, you got in there with us some, but you weren't in there with us like Asa. But I know you was in the gym all the time. Because when I watched you play, I'm like, he's in the lab. He's working on his game, right?
Yeah.
You
appreciate that.
You got to treat the kid who isn't Darius Garland and who may not even have a chance to be Darius Garland like he's Darius Garland.
And you also have to coach those kids. Like, for example, a good example is our top team, Brandon Wright girls. They are considered UAA, and our second teams are considered the Rise teams. Well, the Rise teams get the same treatment as the UAA when it comes to coaching. Now, obviously, the gear and the shoes and everything that Under Armour gives our top teams, that separates things. But as far as the X's and O's and how we coach them, it's all the same.
I was about to say, too, because the same profession that Ace and I are in, it's like the cousin to your profession, right? I mean, they're related, but they're not the exact same. I mean, but that is the same, in my opinion. I think if you're doing a great job, you're treating your players from 1 to 15 to your managers to anybody involved in the basketball program the same. You're not the same. You're treating them fairly. You can't treat everybody the same. That I feel like that's a common phrase going around, and it's honestly really true just because everybody's so different. But you have to be able to treat everybody fair and give everybody the same time and energy, or else you're just doing it for like a transaction, and it doesn't really matter. And these kids aren't going to really get anything out of it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I mean, like I tell the parents before every travel season, I tell them we have our meetings. Everybody, your daughter will get an opportunity to play. what she does with that opportunity is solely up to her. So she's never going to come out of town and not ever get put into the basketball game. I can, as the program director, I can assure you of that. But we can go out of town, and if she's not producing and playing the way we need her to play, she can very well go in and not get back in the game. That's just this is elite level basketball. It's not equal playing time, right? So and they all understand that.
Yeah. One thing that
took me but not the same.
Took me a while to figure it out, but it's true. You know, you hear all the time, coaches don't decide playing time, players decide playing time. And that's, I mean, I find that to be true, you know, more so than not, that players really, you know, it's not the coaches who determine your playing time. You decide it with, you know, the work you put in, what you do with your opportunity on the court. Do you know off the top of your head how many kids, boys and girls, you put in college?
I would, since 2016, I know we're with the girls. I just go back to 2016. Obviously, this is year 15 with the girls, but since 2016, we're well over 100 on the girl side.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I actually have I need to update it. I think we stopped it at our. Well, let's see. We need to add our 21s, and then we need to add. We've already had a kid commit in a 22 class. She went on ahead and committed early. But yeah, it's been a blessing. But I can say, you know, all the kids that got an opportunity to play college basketball, everybody on that list that we made, all those girls put in the time and energy for them to get those offers and be able to get to the next level and play college basketball.
Hey, I got to shout you out real quick. I think a lot of people – there's another thing that I really dislike about the rep that some trainers get, or that trainers in general get, and it's when trainers start talking as if like we're the ones that made them. I love what you're saying, and you said it the whole podcast about, well, like we can basically tell you what to do, but you got to be the one to put in the work. And like you just like giving all your kids credit. I think that's so good and helpful for trainers and coaches and players everywhere. Like just go to somebody that talks like that to you and that makes it about you and not about themselves. So I just wanted to say that real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I tell the kids, look, man, you can put on this Brandon Wright jersey. That don't. I've seen girls. I tell this story a lot, but we was playing in Alabama one summer some years ago, and here we come in, and you know we're matching from head to toe, bags, nice uniform, shoes. Well, I'm watching the kid play on the court beside us, and she was about 6'2", and her team just had on some black shorts, a little reversible jersey, and that was it. Well, I'm coming up to her like I'm about to get her. Look at her, look at the team uniforms, hey. So I pull her to the side like, hey, how you doing? I'm Coach Spencer's team, right? I said, is this your team you play with full time? She was like, yeah. I said, okay, you ever heard of Team Brandon Wright? She was like, yeah, you guys got a great program. I said, well, love to have you. And she was like, Coach, I appreciate you. But she said, you know what? She said, it's my team right there. She said, I love my team. She said, this is who I started with, and this is who I'm going to finish with. I shook her hand, gave her a hug. I mean,
That's good for her.
It was like, I was like, wow.
You don't hear that.
Hey, Spencer was like, all right, how do we add another team? Let's just get this whole team over here.
That was going to be my thing. I wanted to go to the coach and be like, all right, coach, look, come up under this. But
that's phenomenal.
But because you know, like she showed me right then and there. Now she ended up, once I went and done like the research on her and stuff. Well, she was one of the top forwards in the country. Like she was really, really good. Multiple Power 5 offers. So basically, what she showed me is you can have on a white jersey that says "Be quiet" on the front of it.
Yeah, ain't it?
Yeah.
If you're good enough, they don't matter. They're gonna find you.
Like I said, bro. You could tell. All right, everybody get a pair of black shorts. I'm bringing the jerseys. That's what. Those were their uniforms.
That's crazy.
Wow. Good for her. All right. So tell me, how many teams do y'all have exactly right now, and where y'all going in July?
So we have on the girl side, we have 7.
Yeah.
7 teams. A lot of people may know this by now, but Mookie Betts, obviously the baseball player, loves basketball. Y'all know he's a man of many talents. So he wanted me to start Team Mookie, and it's been good. So we have 1 team right now, but he's hoping to build a program next year. We can have probably 3 or 4 teams. On the girls' side, we'll start off in Indy. We have my guy John McGraw, who's your Heat, and then we'll go right into Under Armour Session 2. So we'll be in Indy for about 7 or 8 days. Come back home for about 3 or 4 days, and then we'll go. We'll stop in Philadelphia around the 21st, and then the UA Championships is up in Manheim, Pennsylvania, Spooky Nook facility, the 23rd through the 25th.
Okay, gotcha.
That's awesome.
Hey, so I don't want to keep it too much longer. We got a couple more things, and one more thing. Then we're gonna do some rapid fire questions. But I got to talk about Nashville basketball with you. I was reading on your website how all around games dedicated to changing the culture of basketball in the city of Nashville, while pushing our clients beyond their limitations. And you also I read in an article where you mentioned wanting to just put Nashville basketball on the map because there's a lot of hidden talent here. Just talk to us about Nashville basketball and kind of what it meant to you when you were coming out, and the people before you, the people that you came up with, and then kind of what it means to you now to be grooming the next generation of Nashville basketball players.
Yeah, I mean, it was always, I came out of Maplewood in 2002. Obviously, we didn't get the luxury of having trainers when I was coming through. It was literally leave school and you go to the neighborhood park, older guys on the court, they dominate the court. If they liked you, they let you on. That was our training session, and then a good old game of 36,
Yeah.
That's how we learned to play basketball. It wasn't no trainers back then. And then, I mean, Maplewood High School, Coach Gamble, he was my coach, rest in peace, Coach Gamble. But, man, great coach. We had some guys in front of us that were really good. When I got there my freshman year, I didn't get to play varsity. I played freshman, obviously, but they made it to the state. And then my sophomore year, we were okay. We were decent. And then my junior and senior year, we were really, really good, man. We made it to the state back-to-back years. We lost in a quarterfinal game. Each year we went to the state. We won. My junior year, we won our first game. Then we got beat by Bartlett, and they ended up winning it. That's when they had Jonathan Lowe. Hubie Smith actually coached that team.
Oh, okay, got you.
And then my senior year, we lost to Bearden on a buzzer beater. We was up 1, and they went length of the floor and hit a buzzer beater. So that's how my high school career ended. But every man going to the state, I mean, playing at MTSU on that in the glass house, man, it was like I always cherish those moments. And then to see the game where it is now, I mean, obviously there was a stretch where Nashville basketball was just kind of like, it was not good, man. I mean,
kind of dead for a while.
Yeah. Well, then when we started the all-around game and we was able to start getting kids in the gym and, about Sunday nights. I mean, that was almost like a showcase within itself.
It was.
And once we got those Sunday nights going and guys from, guys like yourself, Brentwood and Franklin and that, East Nat, I mean, people from all over Middle Tennessee, people coming down from Murfreesboro. I mean, that sparked the flame all over Middle Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
You had all kind of teams. I mean, Brentwood, Maplewood, I mean, you name it. I mean, Hunters Lane had a nice run.
Yep.
It definitely, I mean, obviously I'm not going to say we're the reason why it got back on the map, but we definitely had a small look. I mean, like you said, who didn't look forward to Sunday night workouts?
Man, everybody looked forward. And some of them were at BGA, Nate. Sunday workouts, those Sunday night workouts were the best things ever.
I mean, Nate, one time I had to leave. I had to go out to New Mexico State to work some college kids out. And this when we was having the Sunday night workouts at BGA, Nate. And I left a couple, I think Jamal and it was somebody else in charge who was working with us at the time. I said, I'm nervous. I'm like, it's my first time missing a Sunday. I don't know what to expect. So I'm in New Mexico and Jamal is blowing my phone up. and I couldn't answer because I was on. So finally, I get off the court. I'm like, man, what's going on? He was like, man, it's about 70 boys here.
Dude, I mean, literally every part of the city was represented there. Every single part of the city. That's why we all knew everybody, and we put every part of the city was represented at those workouts.
So we had he's like, school gym, it's 70. So I forget my man, I think it was Jameson at the time, the athletic director.
Coach Jameson. Jemison.
Yeah, I called him. I say, look, man, he said, y'all got many? So he came over, opened up the high school gym, and we had two. We had the middle school gym and high school gym, man. And I was like, but that was it, man. That was it.
That was it, man. That was yeah. I mean, what y'all did with that was amazing. It really was, and there hasn't been anything like it, and I haven't seen really much like it since. That was amazing. Hey, you mind doing some rapid fire questions with us real quick to cap this off?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, here we go. Last technical.
Last summer.
Last summer. Did you deserve it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey,
what'd you do?
Now it wasn't the worst technical I ever got coaching travel basketball. Was the foul count was like, now this was in my earlier days, Nate. I wasn't married. Yeah. So the foul count was like 11-2, and I literally pulled out it was probably about $1,500, and I asked the referee how much are they paying you, and I started throwing money on the ground.
Oh my goodness,
that's incredible.
So did you start getting some? Did he pick up any?
He looked like he wanted to, but he did. He did right. But he did. He actually gave me 2 texts, threw me out. I drove. This was the old USBA.
Yeah.
So I drove to the Shell gas station, bought some $10 shades, came back into the gym and put the shades on, and stopped the game. He was like, "Sir, you have to leave."
With the shade, you try to go incognito and sneak back in real quick.
$10 shades, bro.
That is hilarious, man.
Do you still have those shades, or were they lost? Were they ever worn after that?
As soon as I left USBA, I let my window down and I tossed them shades. It was.
Yo, that is good. Well, the next question was, have you ever been kicked out of game? But you just told us that. Have you ever dunked a basketball on a 10-foot rim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you in game dunker?
I've dunked a total of 3 times, and I never dunked it. I dunked in high school at practice, but I never dunked in the game until I got to college. Got you.
Okay, you're up 3 at the end of a game. Do you foul or let it play out?
I'm going to say I'm going to let it play out.
Yeah. Trust the defense, trust the rebounding.
Yeah.
Okay, you got best player has 2 fouls in the first half. Leave them in, take them out.
Leave him in.
Leave him in. I like it.
Go
for the tie. Go for the win.
Go for the win.
There we go. All right. Well, hey, No, I'm not going to ask that one. So just casual or professional on the sidelines? Casual. Yep. Okay. Early morning practice or evening or night practice?
Evening.
If you could not be a trainer, coach basketball, what would you want to do?
Rap.
Rapper. Okay.
You got anything? You got anything in your back pocket? Anything on the computer?
Oh, absolutely not. I just look when I live. I love rap. I mean, obviously Jay-Z, and so I can't really get with a lot of these young guys, but
right.
Obviously when a good Jay-Z come on, or T.I. or Old Wayne or something, I can let J. Cole. I like some of the new guys. Baby, some of it, but sometimes those they get to talking. You know how they get, man. I just can't. But I love rap, man. Outside of basketball, here's how I look at it. For guys to be able, any type of artist, whether it's rap or any type of musician, man, especially the ones that make a great living, it's almost like somebody that can draw real good.
Yeah. Creating something.
That kind of stuff needs to be like, those people are very, very, very gifted at what they do.
I agree. I'm totally with you on that one.
So, Asa, is this where you got your rap passion from?
I mean, he certainly played a part on it. Yeah, I mean, he was there. He was there from the early years when I was forming my my rap ears. So
I just heard Jay-Z, and I was like, "That's your guy." So,
all right. You play any golf?
I don't, man.
Nah. Should every team make the conference tourney?
No.
Why not?
Hey, man, look, you gotta win first and foremost. And if you what it goes just the old saying, everybody get a trophy, especially these young kids, and that's why some of them don't make it. Yeah. You go to the tournament now. There is a case for it, depending on the situation, but obviously it's a winner's world, so the winners need to go to the tournament.
Yeah, I'm with it.
All right, I'm gonna go off of yours. I'm gonna get a rapid fire question in here. Would you support a double elimination bracket in a conference tournament?
I like that. Yeah.
A double?
Yeah. I mean, just because, like, obviously you get an upset, but, like, should the best teams, like, in smaller conferences have a chance to have one bad game? And if they win, like Belmont last year, you win 30 games, you have one bad game. Should you have an opportunity to win and have an opportunity to beat them twice again?
I mean, didn't that just happen in Southball, Oklahoma?
I think.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, just think if they didn't get a chance if they were just done after that,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had a chance. They played their way out of the losers bracket and won a championship.
Right. Double elimination. I haven't thought too much into that one, Nathan.
Yeah.
All right, Spence. LeBron or Jordan?
MJ.
Why?
Because of the shoes? Surely not just because of the shoes.
No. Hey, look. Michael Jordan. Look, I love LeBron. I think it all depends. It all depends on the era. Obviously, I came up. I got to see all the Michael Jordan championships. I got to see Michael Jordan in anytime they needed to win close games or whatever. Like Jordan, he did not let you down 95% of the time, bro. And it's just like when I look at some of the situations LeBron is in some games, and I go back to some of those same scenarios Jordan was in, that's the difference for me. But I think LeBron is a fantastic player. He does a lot for the game on and off the court. But MJ just had that. MJ had another level of killer in him, man. Yeah. And Kobe Bryant is the closest one to that as far as just that. I don't care who's in front of me. I'm about to destroy you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'm not so sure if Bron got that.
All right, dog. Hey, where can everybody get Twitter, Instagram? Where can they find you?
Twitter, TBW Basketball 1. Twitter, the All Around Game at AAG Lab WRK, and then Instagram is Team Be Right on Instagram.
Cool. All right, we can find myself on Instagram at the Ace of Spades with a Z on the end. You can find Nathan on Twitter at Coach Nate Moran. You can find him on Instagram at Nate5_Moran. You can find Mind of a Coach on Twitter at Mind of a Coach Pod, and you can find Mind of a Coach on Instagram at Mind of a Coach. Spence, man, appreciate you, dude. Good to talk to you. Thank you for coming on. Best of luck to y'all. Team Be Right. Mookie Betts in the summer on y'all's AAU trips. Best of luck to you, man. Appreciate y'all you doing for the city of Nashville, for the game of basketball, and all that stuff, man. So appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all. And if you guys have any type, I got some AAG shirts, merchandise for you.
We got a shirt for you. I saw Jamal last week.
Look, I need a shirt before I get back on the road next in July. I love wearing, Under Armour but I love wearing shirts that just represent the city and what we're doing. I'm throwing a couple, nice little podcast shirt with some Jordans, man. Yeah, it goes a long way, baby.
I got you a shirt.
I really appreciate it.
If Jamal come up to CSU, I'm gonna give y'all a couple of them, or I'll run by Brown Academy or something. So.
Hey, and I might need to learn a little bit about that 10-minute ball handling drill you were talking about.
Oh, I got the 10 count down.
10-minute ball. No, he said a 10-minute ball handling series. The 10 count, yeah, I understand, but like you said, you did a 10-minute ball handling series with Draymond and start to work out or something like that. I'm just in.
Yeah. I'll get that to you. My guy Travis Walton, he did a great job with that. So I can get that for you. Nice little way to get the guys going before practice or even after the practice. But we just did it to get the guys going before we get work.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Spence, appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. Great job, man. Keep going.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Well, while we're on here still, I just wanted to make sure to say to Asa, I don't want to say anything too bad, but you can kiss my butt, Asa, because the Tennessee Volunteers are in the College World Series, Asa. The College World Series. You know what, Tennessee has the most loyal fan base out there, besides Lee University and Lipscomb University. Besides those two that I've ever known, and you know what? We deserve this. We deserve this.
Deserve it. What do you mean you deserve
this? It has been a tough. Is
it 98? Does it feel like 98?
Feels like 2021 is what it feels like. That's what it feels like. COVID's over. Don't even know what that is. And we are in the College World Series.
Nathan, I am happy that you get to experience something other than complete futility from the Tennessee Volunteers in the athletic department. I'm really happy for you that you got something to cling on to now. I really am. As a friend, I'm happy for you. As a friend, I'm happy to see you like this.
Man, I just hate that Alabama wasn't able to make it.
I'm pretty sure Alabama is okay with
No, I know they're struggling. Oh, we're good at football and basketball, whatever. Like, we're good at baseball. So that actually sounds like what some of the Vanderbilt fans used to say.
That's funny.
But true. I mean,
I'm glad you said that, Nate. I forgot. About that.
So go Vols. Go Vols.
Congratulations, man.
Hey, and go Commodores.
I'm gonna let you have your moment.
Go Commodores too. Go Commodores too. I mean, those guys are in the College World Series, and so SEC, man, SEC just
best conference in the country, dude.
All right, Asa.
All right, dog. Holla at you.
Love you.
Love you.